Hey guys, TJ Hernandez here with RosterCoach.com, and this is the Week 16 GPP Value Report, where each week I'm going to go through the featured contests on the main slate for both FanDuel and DraftKings to highlight the payout structures of each of these games and hopefully help you out with your game selection based on your goals. So starting on FanDuel, as always, we haven't seen much fluctuation in the games, and that pretty much holds true this week. Not too much difference in structure or prize pools, save a couple small nuances. So starting at these games up to the $10 level, the game that is the main game every week is the Sunday Million, and that prize pool is holding steady at $1.2 million with $250,000 going to first place. So that means about 21% of the field is being paid, with 21% of the money going to first place. At these smaller stakes, the only games that stand out as decent first place prizes, or at least 5-digit first place prizes, are the Snap at the $4.44 level and the Rush at the $5 level. The Snap is offering $10,000 to first place with a $50,000 prize pool. About 21% of the field is being paid in that game. 20% of the money is going to first place. The Rush is a $30,000 first place prize. The prize pool is $175,000, which means 17% of the money is allocated to first place, but less than 20% of the field is being paid in that game. If you're looking for contests at the smaller stakes that are structured a little more flat, the games that stand out are a game like the Pancake Block at the 25-cent level. About 24% of the field's being paid in that game, with just 6% of the money going to first place. But the rake on that game's 16.5%. If you move up to the Dive at the $1 level, we see a game that's paying out almost 23% of the field, with 7% of the money going to first place. That contest does have over 140,000 entries in it, so although the structure is good, you're going to have to beat a very large field to notice any big upside. If we move up a couple more bucks, the Snap at the $3 level is paying out 23% of the field, and then if you move all the way up to the $10 level, the Scramble is a single entry contest paying out about 23% of the field, only about 4,000 entries, so you have a chance to turn your $10 into $4,000. So that game offers a pretty nice balance of some upside and a relatively flat payout structure. If we look at these contests priced above $10 on FanDuel, the Fan Championship is back this week at the $250 buy-in level. That prize pool's down to $1 million, but $250,000 is still going to first place. So 25% of the money is going to first place, and that's pretty much the standard for these higher stakes contests with big upside. We see the Bomb at the $33 level with a $100,000 first place prize, but that $100K accounts for 25% of the $400,000 prize pool. And the Monster at the $555 level, $50,000 first place prize, but again, $200,000 total prize pool, which means 25% of the money is going to first place. All of these contests at these higher stakes games, you're going to see about 20% of the field being paid out. The game that does stand out in terms of field size being paid out is the Spin Move at the $35 level. We see almost 25% of the field being paid out in a single entry contest. First place is $3,000, so not huge upside, but the field's relatively small at 840 people, and 12% of the money is going to first place. So you get a pretty flat payout with a relatively small field and single entry. So no worry of playing against people that have 150 lineups. You're on an even playing field. So that game does stand out a little bit. And then if you do want a little bit of upside, but still looking for some of that flatter payout, the Kickoff at the $12 level offers $20,000 to first place, and a little over 21% of the field is being paid. So a slightly better structure than some of those bigger games. Obviously not as much upside, but definitely something to pay attention to. On DraftKings this week, pretty big shakeup in the contest. DraftKings added a few really big prize pools for the holiday week and restructured the Millionaire. So we see a few less featured games, and some of the contests have a noticeably smaller prize pool. So if we're looking for upside on DraftKings, we really only have a handful of choices, especially at these lower stakes. The big contests that DraftKings added at the lower stakes is the $1.5 million Santa's 8 Reindeer Special at the $8 level. $1.5 million prize pool, $100,000 going to first place, and we see almost 250,000 entries in that game. The structure at the lower stakes this week is pretty much the same. We see about 25-26% of the field being paid out in all of these games, but again, just a couple games with big first place prizes. The play action this week is a $500,000 prize pool with $50,000 going to first place. That's a $3 buy-in game. And then the nickel, which is a 3-max game at the $5 buy-in level, has $15,000 going to first place. That game paying out about 26% of the field. The only game that is paying out noticeably more than these other small stakes contests is the safety at the $2 level. 27% of the field being paid out, but just $500 up top in that game. So again, the big money really allocated to just a few games this week on DraftKings. Finally, looking at the contests priced above $10 on DraftKings, I mentioned the Millionaire has a new structure this week. It's a $1,500 buy-in with a $5 million prize pool. So really big jump, obviously, from the $20 buy-in that we've seen. 18% of the field is being paid. The $1 million accounts for 20% of the total prize pool. A few other big contests that DraftKings is rolling out. The Wildcat, that's always a big contest. It's actually down a little bit this week. The prize pool is $750,000. Still a $100,000 first place prize. We see about 22% of the field being paid in that game. The Power Sweep at the $150 level is a 3-max game with a chance to win $50,000, $400,000 prize pool. That contest not even paying out 21% of the field. The Chop Block at the $50 buy-in level is up to a $1 million prize pool this week. So that's another game that DraftKings really upped the number of entries in and the prize pool in. So you have a chance to turn $50 into $100,000, 23% of the field being paid in that game. And the Shovel Pass, which is another 3-max game at the $20 buy-in level for those that were playing the Millionaire, you get a chance to turn your $20 into $50,000. So obviously not as much upside as the Millionaire, but you're getting a better structure on a $20 contest with still pretty decent upside, obviously a smaller field, and that 3-max contest does put you on a more even playing field. About 24% of the field being paid in that game. So all these bigger contests, you're looking somewhere 22 to 23% of the field being paid. There are a couple games at these higher stakes that are paying out a large percentage of the field. The Goal Line at the $75 level is paying out 27% of the field. Again, another 3-max game, but only $3,000 up top in that one. And then the Check Down at the $777 buy-in level is paying out almost 29% of the field. Only 35 entries in that game. It's a single entry contest, but first place is just $7,000. So if you're investing $777 into a game, you're not getting a lot of upside, but the rake's really low. The payout's really high in terms of percentage of the field. So maybe something that someone might consider if they're playing these higher stakes games, but might want a slightly lower variance contest. So that's the outlook this week for the GPPs. As always, hit me up if you have any questions. This is TJ Hernandez with RosterCoach.com. Thank you for watching.